Renae Marsden was an energetic, funny and social girl. She had many plans for her future. This is how the people around Renae described her. The Marsden family's home in Glen Haven, Sydney, was always full of her laughter. Renae was the first child in the family. When she was 2 years old, her mother, Teresa, separated from her biological father. A few years later, she married a man named Mark Marsden. Mark never treated Renae differently from her 3 other children. Renae also saw him as her real father. Now, let's talk about the relationship between Renae and her mother, Teresa. Their relationship was more than just a mother and daughter relationship. Besides being her mother, Teresa was also Renae's very close friend. They told each other everything that happened in their lives. Whenever Renae had news or something new happened in her life, the first person she shared it with was her mom. She even had a tattoo on her body from her mom that says, "Life is beautiful because of you." Now I want to go back to the year 2005, when Renae was 14 years old and in 9th grade. Renae was very social. Like many kids her age who were looking for a best friend, she was also searching for her own BFF. Renae was very loyal in a friendship. During that time, she met a girl named Camila at a school. They were together almost every day. They went to school together and went out after school and sent messages to each other. Little by little, their relationship became more than just a normal friendship. They kissed each other a few times and were in a romantic relationship for a short time. But this relationship meant something different to Renae. Later, she told her cousin, Stephanie, "I was just curious, but I realized that I'm not attracted to girls. I can normally have a romantic relationship with boys." For Renae, everything about this relationship was over. But for Camila, this was only the beginning of the story. Camila could not accept the relationship had ended. On the outside, she tried to stay by Renae's side as just a friend, but inside, her feelings became stronger every day. Camila was very jealous of Renae's friends. She hated seeing Renae become close to other people. Camila sent many emails and messages to Renae. She wanted to stay very close to Renae. The messages she sent sounded more like threats than words of love. In one of her messages, she wrote, "There is no way for you to escape. Only I love you. Only I will have you forever." Another message, which was later read in court, was even more frightening. "Even if you hate me, I still love you. If you kill me, I will become your spirit. If you hide, I will find you. Only I will have you." Sometime after Renae and Camila's romantic relationship, Renae's family noticed changes in her behavior. Renae used to be very talkative, but now she is much quieter. She also spent less time with her cousin, Stephanie. Her grades at school became worse. Sometimes she even skipped school and she started smoking. Teresa, Renae's mother, believed that Renae was no longer the same girl that she used to know. Now Renae was trapped in a toxic friendship, and even for her, it was hard to leave it. And the reason was that Camila was not always mean. As long as Renae did not cross Camila's strange rule, everything seemed fine. Camila only wanted Renae to stay close to her and wanted to know even the smallest detail about Renae's life. People who behave like this usually understand their victims very well. They know how to make the other person feel emotionally dependent. Then, when that person wants to leave the relationship, they make them feel guilty and believe everything is their own fault. This was exactly what Camila did to Renae. 2 kind behaviors, then 1 angry reaction. Maybe to 14-year-old Renae, this seemed normal. So, up to this point, we can see that Camila knew exactly how to treat Renae and keep her confused. Now, in 2008, when both of them were 16 years old and had more independence, Renae tried to meet more people. At the same time, Camila's aggressive behavior became worse. Whenever she did not like something Renae did, she reacted much more violently than before. Sometimes she punched Renae. Sometimes she pulled her hair. Sometimes she hit her so hard that Renae's body was covered with bruises. Whenever Renae tried to get to know a boy or go on a date, Camila would cause a huge scene. Stephanie even saw Camila's behavior herself one time. One day, while she and Renae were out together, Camila called Renae 16 times in just 15 minutes, while Renae was trying to ignore her. On another night, according to Renae's phone record, Camila called her 54 times in a row. Renae sent her a message that said, "Stop, you are being too possessive." Stephanie decided to talk to Teresa about Renae and Camila's friendship. That was when Teresa decided to step in. Renae told her mother everything. She even said that she was afraid of Camila. Renae's family had a meeting with the school principal. After that, they spoke with Camila's parents. Camila's parents acted as nothing serious had happened. They thought the behavior between Camila and Renae was normal and just childish. They also accused Renae's family of making the situation seem bigger than it really was. So they decided not to work together on the problem. Renae's family had only one goal: to end this friendship. But that did not happen. In 2009, when Renae was 17 years old, her family decided to move her to a beauty school. They thought that this would help Camila stay away from her. During this time, Renae's grades improved a lot. She made a lot of progress in her studies, and it seemed like she was also feeling better emotionally. After a few months, a new transfer student joined the school, and guess who it was? Yes, Camila had also enrolled in the same school. She tried to become closer to Renae. In fact, Camila was following Renae and watching her every move. Even when Renae noticed, Camila still did not stop following her. One day, Renae told Stephanie, "Today, Camila chased me and pulled my hair, and I was really scared." Camila went to Renae's workplace without being invited and was seen around Marsden family's home different times. She was following Renae more openly now. One day, when Renae and her mother were in the library, Camila came closer and said, "Until you answer my call, I will keep following you." Another time, in a cafe, when Renae was with her mother and felt that she was safer in a public place, she decided to tell Camila one more time that she did not want to be friends with her anymore. However, Camila really lost control. She stood up and grabbed Renae's hand tightly, shook it, and kept repeating, "Take it back, take it back." At that moment, Teresa stepped between Camila and Renae to protect her daughter. In a way, it is possible to understand that it seemed like everyone was afraid of Camila. Even Renae's mother only preferred to leave the place as quickly as possible. While she was driving away, Camila was still following their car and kept calling again and again. Now we reached the spring of 2011. It seemed like there were no more of Camila's usual fights, endless calls, and threatening messages. She had become kinder. She was less jealous and talked less about herself. From Renae's point of view, Camila had accepted this situation, and for Renae's family, this was good news. Also, during this time, Camila met a boy named Brayden Spiteri. Until this point, it seemed like that Camila had finally stopped her crazy behavior. Now we come to Brayden. He was 20 years old, about 4 years older than Camila. He came from a very wealthy family. His father owned a large company and he had studied at one of the most famous private schools at Sydney. And most importantly, to other people, Brayden seemed like an amazing guy. Brayden also had an athletic body, neat black hair, and an attractive appearance in other people's eyes. Camila told Renae about her relationship with Brayden. During this time, Renae was able to become closer with Camila again, because it seemed like this girl has truly changed and there was no longer any sign of her old toxic behaviors. After some time, one day Camila said that she had broken up with Brayden. She said that she thought their personalities did not match. Instead, she thought Renae and Brayden were a great match. Now that their relationship had ended, she could introduce Renae and Brayden to each other, so Brayden could still stay in their lives as the friend. Renae agreed with Camila. She got Brayden's phone number and sent him a message the same day. From the very beginning, Brayden was very polite. Unlike many of the boys Renae knew, he spoke to her with respect. Little by little, they became closer, and their messages went from a few minutes a day to hours every day. They talked about their families, their dreams, their jobs, and their future. Sometimes their conversations continued until midnight. Renae became interested in Brayden very quickly. The only problem was that they could not meet each other. In fact, according to what was said, Brayden had been in a motorcycle accident, and his friend Richie, who was with him, had lost his life. Because Brayden was the person driving the motorcycle, he was convicted of manslaughter, and he had to stay in prison for some time, and he was not allowed to have visitors. Renae completely accepted the situation. She stayed in contact with Brayden every day until his sentence was finished, so they could finally meet in person and make their relationship more real. During 18 months, they exchanged more than 11,000 messages. Their closeness had reached a point where they could easily talk about their future kid together. They talked about marriage, the names of their children, and the house they would buy after Brayden was released. On the other hand, Teresa did not feel good about this situation at all. She always asked Renae, "How can you fall in love with someone you have never even seen once?" Mark felt the same way, but he did not want to push his daughter away. Also, Renae had become quiet again. She was always on her phone and communicated less with other people. On the other hand, the fact that Camila was the person who introduced this man to Renae made Teresa even more worried. During this time, Brayden decided to message Renae's mother and introduced him to her. Brayden was able to speak so logically that Teresa's worries became less, and she started to accept the situation more easily. Later, in the summer of 2012, Brayden did something really wrong. He created a Facebook account and started messaging Renae's friends. These were not normal messages. You understood correctly. They were exactly the kind of messages that crossed the line. When Renae found out about these messages, she argued with Brayden, but Brayden did not admit it. He told Renae that she was being too sensitive and then she was overreacting. Renae became very upset with Brayden, but very soon Brayden made up for what he did by sending her gifts, and Renae forgave him. On the other hand, Renae shared everything with Camila, and Camila tried to convince Renae not to let her relationship with Brayden fall apart. After some time, Brayden became much more controlling toward Renae. For example, one time Renae introduced her male coworker to Camila so she could make up for the fact that Camila had introduced Brayden to her. But instead, Brayden accused Renae of cheating. He said, "No, you are the one who wants to go on a date with this guy, and you were just using Camila as an excuse." In July 2012, Renae was very happy because Brayden had been released from prison. But this happiness lasted only a few hours because before they could meet each other, Brayden was sent back to prison again. It seemed that around that time, he had a problem with his father and a physical fight happened between them. Because Brayden had been released on a condition of good behavior, he was sent back to prison again. Renae's heart was broken more than before. She decided to end her life. She took a lot of medication and did not tell anyone. After she survived a suicide attempt and felt weak for several days, she decided to tell her mother. They went to the hospital together. After receiving treatment there, a psychologist talked to her to make sure Renae would not try to do something like this again. Renae explained the situation very maturely. She said that she had been in a very difficult situation and had made the wrong decision, but now she regretted it and did not want to do it again. Renae also talked about Brayden's recent behavior. She connected her sudden emotional breakdown to Brayden because he was very aggressive, suddenly disappeared for days, and used a lot of bad language. At this point, after everything that happened, Renae decided to end this relationship, and she did. About 5 months after her relationship with Brayden, she met one of her co-workers, a man named Ian. They started a relationship, and in January 2013, exactly 5 months after they have met each other, they got engaged. The truth was that Renae was still thinking about Brayden, and she started a relationship with Ian because she wanted to forget Brayden. At the same time, Brayden confidently kept messaging Renae's fiance and told him, "Leave Renae alone. She belongs to me. Even though I'm in prison, I can send someone to kill you easily." On the other side, Camila was also putting pressure on Renae, asking why she ended things with Brayden. Ian finally made his decision in June 2013. He gave Renae two choices: choose between me and Brayden, and Renae's choice was Brayden. On March 28, 2013, on Camila's birthday, Renae sent her a long message. "In this life, there are two things I am very thankful for. The first one is that you helped Brayden and me start a relationship. If it wasn't because of you, I would have never been able to meet him. The second thing I am thankful for is for having you in my life. I hope you can also find a person who is the most important person for you. You are so important to me that if someone wanted to hurt you, I could kill them." And she said, "Learn from your mistakes, babe. We do not know what happened during these past few months, but it seems like that Camila had done something again." And she continued the message by praising Camila and wishing for happiness. But the thing that was very clear in this message was that Renae completely showed what she meant. Renae was saying that Camila was not everything to her anymore, and that she had found the person who was everything to her. She hoped Camila could find that person too, and if there was anything she could do for her, she would definitely do it. One day, Renae and Ian, her ex-fiancé, went to a cafe together. They had still kept their friendship. When Camila found out, she said, "You should not do something like this. Your relationship would be ruined." Renae told her, "Well, we can just not tell Brayden." And this was when Camila started hitting Renae. Another time, one of Renae's exes sent her a friendly message. When Camila found out, she went and told Brayden. Brayden said, "Our relationship is over and you are cheating on me," and said things like that. I do not want to judge what Renae did or say, whether it was right or wrong. The thing that gets my attention is why Camila reacted so strongly to these situations. I should also mention that whenever Renae posted a photo of herself, Brayden accused her of cheating and said, "I am in prison, so you must want to show yourself to other men." In general, Brayden considered Renae's relationship with other people as cheating, except for one thing. Brayden said that if Renae slept with another girl, he was okay with it. Even one time when Renae and Brayden were talking and Renae was sending him photos, when she asked Brayden to send her a photo of himself so that when he got out of the prison, she would have a photo of him too. And Brayden said, "If you feel like you need a physical relationship, you can sleep with Camila until I get out." Now we reached the point where Brayden was getting close to being released from prison. Renae had even planned their honeymoon. She had called different hotels to make reservations, and at the same time, in late 2013, Renae decided to seriously end her friendship with Camila this time. At that moment, Camila was traveling, and Brayden was also dealing with his court matters. He told Renae that it was better for them to not stay in contact during this time, so there would not be any problems with his release process, and so he would not get in trouble because of the secret phone he had in prison. During these 1 or 2 months, Renae had no news from Camila and no news from Brayden either, but she was impatiently waiting for Brayden to be released so they could finally get married. In August 2013, Renae received a message from Brayden. She became very happy and thought Brayden had good news. But in the message, Brayden was insulting her and using bad words. He told her, "I need a break." At that point, Renae and Brayden broke up. Renae called the prison where Brayden was staying to get some information about him. Here, we do not know what conversation had happened between the prison staff and Renae. At the same time, Teresa received several messages from Brayden that said, "Your daughter wants to kill herself. Be careful." Here, Teresa showed the messages to Renae. Renae told her, "Brayden and I broke up and there is no problem. He just wants to create drama right now. Don't pay attention to him." That day, according to the plan she had made with her mother, Renae took her little sister to her grandmother's house. After that, she went to meet her friends. At 5:49, Teresa received a very strange message from Renae. In the end, Teresa called the police. "I love you so much. I'm sorry for everything and the pain I will now cause you. But I'll be okay. I'll be still here and be around when you need to talk to me. Just call my name and I'll be there. You are the most amazing person and mother ever, and my very best friend. I wasn't happy and I need you to understand that it's okay. Don't let this ruin everyone else you need to take care of. Okay, I need you to be strong for me. I love you, Mama. I always will. And I'll be waiting when you come. Renae XXOO." In the end, Teresa called the police and they started their search. Teresa also got news about Renae from Camila. Camila said that Renae had sent her a message at 5:47. "I love you and I am sorry for what I'm going to do." It seemed like that Renae had messaged Camila first and then her mother, which made the situation a little suspicious. At 8:45, the police managed to find Renae's car in an area called The Gap. It was a place known for people going there to end their lives. They found Renae's shoes on one of the cliffs and thought that Renae had done something to herself. Because of this, they called the search team and also searched the area with the helicopter, but there was no sign of Renae. The security cameras showed that Renae had been sitting on a cliff and been texting. After that, she threw her phone into the water and walked out of the camera's view. The question that came up was, why did Renae not end her life there and went somewhere else? At the Gap, people who end their lives there usually cannot be found because of the ocean tides. Another question also comes up. Did Renae actually end her life, or was she killed by someone else? Why did she suddenly leave the view of security cameras? Renae did not know about the cameras, so did someone call her and make her walk toward them? In this situation, when Teresa wanted to investigate the situation from Brayden's side, Camila showed her disagreement. She said that Renae had always been like this and had suicidal thoughts before. She said that they could not accuse and blame Brayden. Camila also kept insisting that Renae was unhappy with her family and the house they lived in, and that this was the reason she did this. Finally, Teresa decided to tell the police everything she knew about Brayden. The police started investigating. They went to the prison where Brayden was supposedly being held, and they found that there was no person with that name and such a prison record had never existed. On the other hand, Brayden's SIM card was registered under Camila's name. In fact, everything that was found about Brayden eventually went back to Camila. In the messages exchanged between Renae and Stephanie, it seemed that Stephanie once told Renae that Brayden talked very similarly to Camila, and she felt that Brayden might actually be Camila. Renae became very upset with her because of this, and Stephanie completely stopped talking about the subject. Finally, on September 13, 2013, police found some of the letters that Renae had written to Brayden in Camila's house. At this point, Camila decided to say, "Okay, I was the one writing the messages to Renae and I was Brayden." But Renae knew about it and agreed with it. It was kind of a game for us. Even though around 30,000 messages had been exchanged between them, and Renae had always seriously followed up on the relationship, such as calling the prison or booking hotels for their honeymoon. Nothing about it seemed fake. At that time, there was no law or punishment for catfishing in Australia. What Camila had done was not considered illegal from a legal point of view. Court cases were held because of this, but no legal result was reached. Also, the police had seen Brayden's photos and were able to find the real person who owned those photos. That person's name was Cameron. Cameron himself had no idea about what was happening. The final result that the judge announced for this case was that Camila had made these decisions alone. Renae was actually the victim, and Renae ended her life because of the breakup. Everything was because of Camila. In reality, because Camila could not have a relationship with Renae herself, she decided to create a fake character and use that character to stay in contact with Renae. Even though everyone agreed with this and Camila had clearly catfished Renae, there was nothing they could do because catfishing was still not a crime in Australia. It's Itsravex, and I will see you in the next episode.